I think you're second.
That eliminates a lot of variables.
And you already have
Got
my
live.
Yeah.
That's right.
The less decisions, the better. Can't do everything.
Well, I mean, some people do. That's the problem.
One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10.
got my size. They got the 10 size out after I went through. All they had was small electric.
Digging it back out from underneath the table.
I got 3X.
Yeah. They tried to get it on
Well, I grabbed a large. What did you got?
And we're so glad. Let me catch my breath. I am that excited.
That is not democracy. That is plutocracy.
How about this, ladies and gentlemen? Let's say it loud so they can hear it all the way to 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. We like Mike. 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 Yeah. All right, let's try this again, ladies and gentlemen. Let's try this again, and I'll try to get through this because I know you're here for Mike, and you're not here for anything else. My name is Dennis Clark, and I am the Regional Organizing Director for Hamilton County, Tennessee in the 3rd Congressional District. And it is our wonderful team that's located right here. Go ahead. It is our wonderful team that's located right here in Chattanooga at 724 Cherry Street that's getting the word out about Mike Bloomberg. So we want to thank you all for coming. I know there's a ton of places you could have been on a Wednesday afternoon in the middle of the day, raining. We have a crowd outside. There's a crowd wrapped around the building because you are excited about rebuilding this country and uniting Americans. We have work to do, folks. It's fun to go to rallies and to cheer people on, but people ask the question, how do we go from a Barack Obama to a Donald J. Trump? It's very easy, folks. A lot of us stayed at home. We didn't get re-engaged. But guess what? We are not going to fumble the ball this year. Is that right? So before you leave today, these are your marching orders. Take a yard sign. I know many of you live in homeowners associations. Put a sign up anyway. You can take it down after March 3rd, okay? Put it up anyway. Take a bumper sticker. Put it on your car. Make some people mad. My mama says if they're not talking about you, you're not doing anything. If they're not protesting you, they're not worried about you. But this country is worried about Mike Bloomberg because he's going to be our next president. And you are going to help us. So before all of you leave, make sure you are phone banking. We have until March 3rd. Say it with me, March 3rd. And on March 3rd in Hamilton County in the 3rd Congressional District, we are going to send Michael Bloomberg to the White House, right? And we need your help. I want to introduce to you somebody else that likes Mike, just like you do. She actually needs no introduction. Dr. Eleanor Woods is the president of the local chapter. Go ahead and give her a round of applause. Dr. Eleanor Woods is the president of the local chapter of the NAACP. She's also an entrepreneur, a healthcare entrepreneur. She's been a practicing dentist for 31 years in both Georgia and Tennessee. She's a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. She's the owner of one of 2 Black-owned radio stations in this city. She's a fighter for civil rights. She's a fighter for economic justice for Black Americans in Hamilton County and throughout the country. And guess what? She's a fighter for Mike Bloomberg. So ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm Chattanooga welcome to Dr. Eleanor Woods.
I am so glad to see you all here today. This is amazing. Give you all a round of applause. This is awesome. I'm excited to be here today. Today I early voted for Mike Bloomberg. And let me tell y'all why. Let me tell you why. Number one, this is one of the most important elections of our lifetime. Do you all agree? The most important election. And we've got to feel the urgency right now. We have to feel the urgency, and we've got to reunite our country. Black people, white people, Latino people, gay, straight, moderates, progressive, people from all walks of life. Yes, yes. We have to elect the best candidate to represent all people and beat Donald Trump and his divisive attacks. Yes. And that is Mike Bloomberg. Give it up. We need a president who cares about women's rights, access to affordable health care, single mamas, working people, working poor. We need Mike. That's who we need. We need a president who cares about all of us standing in this room. Now, I'm a Black woman, and I grew up in the tough parts of the city of Chattanooga, right there in College Hill Courts. Do we have any College Hill folks? College Hill Courts here? Yeah. But I rose above adversities, and despite the climate of racial tension and terrorism in the South, I did it. I did it. And I know what racism looks like. I know what it looks like, and that's not Mike Bloomberg. That's not Mike Bloomberg. I am sick and tired of being sick and tired of these racist attacks by Donald Trump. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. And I'm ready for a champion in the White House. I am ready. Aren't you all ready? Yes. Now, I know Bloomberg would be a tireless fighter for economic justice for Black America. Just look at his record. Just look at it. You know, we don't have to worry about that. He was the mayor of New York and cut crime, murder rates down 50%. 50%. He increased graduation rates by 42%. And the largest affordable housing in the nation. Can you all give him a round of applause for that? Yes. And you know what? Anybody that Obama likes, I love him. I love him. Yes, I do. President Obama built on his success to launch My Brother's Keeper. Yes, she did. So as a self-made business person myself, like Mike, he understands how to govern, to manage, create jobs, and deliver results. And that's what he'll do. That's what he'll do. So ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming the next president of these United States of America, Mike Bloomberg.
Take some lessons in how to be enthusiastic. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, hello, everyone. Hello, Chattanooga. I just tell you, we have 500 people in another room out here, and then we have 400 people outside, freezing, but they're all here. I'm sorry, we just never expected a crowd this big. I'm so flattered. I think we must have some momentum going here. In fact, we're already racking up votes, so let's hear it from everyone who voted today. Now, Super Tuesday is only 3 weeks away, and we are going to make every second count. It's great to be here at the Bessie Smith Cultural Center. Now, I know Bessie was from Chattanooga, but we have a claim on her from New York City, because she was really an important part of the Harlem Renaissance. And Bessie was called the Empress of the Blues, and if she were around today, let's just say she'd have plenty of material to work with. Not sure that was her definition of blues, but that's okay. But this campaign is about changing the tune, another clever pun, coming out of Washington and ending the dog whistles coming out of the White House. So I am honored to have Dr. Wood's support, and I want to thank her for all her leadership here in Chattanooga. She has made a big difference on everything from poverty to gun violence, and with the Build a Block initiative, she's proving that the best way to bring change is one block at a time, one city at a time, one day at a time, and she really is doing it. I also want to thank Mayor Benjamin from Columbia, South Carolina. Steve's doing a phenomenal job. You should know he is the mayor of a great southern city, and we're lucky to have him as our national co-chair of our campaign. With him there and Greg Fisher from Louisville, we can't lose. At least that's what they tell me. Now, if you don't see... You don't see many presidential candidates here in Chattanooga, I'm told.
Thank you for coming to Chattanooga.
Thank you. But they don't know that this is the home of the moon pie. Whatever the reason, the other candidates have just spent a year in just a couple of states, and it's very little time that they have for every place else, including Tennessee. And I don't think that that's good for our country or for our party. There are 50 states, and I'm determined to go to all 50 states. Because if you're going to reunite this country, you might as well unite all of the country. And that's what it's going to take to win this election. So let me be very clear about why I am in this race. I am running to defeat Donald Trump. And I am running to restore honor to our government and to build a country that we can be proud of and to start getting things done and to start putting the United back in the United States of America. Now, this is a national emergency. We might not recover from 4 more years of Trump. So the stakes couldn't be higher. And the ways to defeat Trump is by appealing to the broadest possible coalition of Americans of all backgrounds, all parties, and to stand shoulder to shoulder. And the way to defeat Trump is with workable, sensible solutions to our biggest problems. Now, I'm a New Yorker. Surprise, surprise. Well, I came from Boston, so my daughters don't really think I'm a New Yorker. I'm a New Yorker, but I'm not afraid of Trump, and Trump is afraid of me. Actually, Trump is afraid of all of us in this room, and together we're going to get it done. Back in 2016, at the Democratic National Convention in Philadelphia, I warned that Donald Trump was not fit for this office. And in 2018, I helped flip the House 21 seats that made Pelosi the Speaker, and it let Pelosi and the House do what the Constitution says they should do, hold the president accountable, and they started the impeachment process, but it all came from that. Since the Republican Senate didn't have the courage to remove the president from office, it is up to us to do it this November. Now, I got into this race 11 weeks ago because I was deeply concerned that Donald Trump was on track to win the election, and I just could not sit by and let that happen. Our campaign has been getting a great response all over America. Just take a look at what's here. We are running a campaign for change, a campaign for sanity, for honesty, a campaign for inclusion, compassion, and a campaign for human decency. In last week's debate in New Hampshire, the moderator asked a question from a woman here from Tennessee. She wanted to know why any of the candidates would be better able than I am to attract the voters we need to beat Donald Trump. It was a great question, but not one of them had an answer. So let me tell you why I believe I'm the best candidate to take Donald Trump on and win. To start, I have workable and achievable plans to deal with the toughest challenges facing the country, and I will get it done. That's the message we need to win voters all over this country and to beat Trump in the swing states that will decide this election. Because we all know the Trump strategy. Attack Democrats, make their plans look unrealistic, unaffordable, and undoable. That won't work against me. I promise you, I offer a record of getting things done and common sense plans that are workable. That's what voters want. We don't need a revolution, we want evolution, and we need a nominee who can deliver it. But that's not all we need to win, because let's face it, Donald Trump is the world's biggest schoolyard bully with no respect for civility, decency, or the facts. And our party needs a candidate who can go toe-to-toe with him and take the fight to him, and I'm going to do that. Just think about the past few weeks. The president has been busy insulting the Democratic candidates. He does that a lot, you know. When you can't defend your record on health care or wages or the environment, you resort to insults. Well, Donald Trump's insults do not bother me. I've never run away from a fight, and I can just tell you he's not going to bully me. I keep saying bully me, and I won't let him bully you either. I've been pretty blessed. There is nothing Trump can do or say that can hurt me, but he has hurt a lot of other people, and that's why I'm running. To stand up for every American who has lost his job or lost their insurance or can't pay college tuition. Those are the people that are depending on us in this room to go and get rid of Donald Trump and put somebody in the White House that can do the job. Now, my whole career, I've been a doer, and I believe we need less talk, less partisanship, less division, less tweeting. In fact, what about a commitment, no tweeting from the Oval Office ever again? Well, in all fairness, it is easy for me to say because I can't spell. But then again, neither can Donald. Even though Donald and I are both from New York, the truth is we could not be more different. In fact, I bill myself as the un-Trump. Just think about it, seriously. He breaks promises, I keep them. He divides people, I try to unite them. He's a climate denier. I'm an engineer. I actually believe in science. Imagine that. He tweets, I follow the facts, respect data, and tell the truth. He looks out for people who inherited their wealth like him while I'm self-made. And I'll raise the estate tax to generate some of the revenue we need to start fighting income inequality. Now, you've all heard the slogan, Mike will get it done. If you haven't heard the slogan, you wouldn't be here. Well, let me tell you what the it is in that slogan. It means winning this November and sending Donald Trump back to Mar-a-Lago permanently. But that's just the beginning, because getting it done means finally providing health insurance to every American who lacks it and lowering costs for everyone else. Getting it done means passing common sense gun safety laws that protect our children and our communities. Getting it done means making America a global leader in the fight against climate change and following Chattanooga's lead on conservation. Getting it done means creating good jobs with higher wages. Getting it done means addressing discrimination and inequality. Getting it done means fixing our broken immigration system and creating a path to citizenship for the 11 million people who are living in the shadows. Getting it done means protecting a woman's right to choose and appointing judges who will defend that right. And getting it done means providing health insurance to every person here in Tennessee and across the country. It is more than outrage than 100,000 kids here in Tennessee have lost their health insurance because they lack the right paperwork. And my health care plan will allow us to achieve universal coverage, and we can do it without a massive tax hike on the middle class and without forcing people to give up their private insurance. How? We're going to build on Obamacare and bring down drug prices. It won't be easy, but I also know that we can do it because unlike other candidates, I don't just talk about doing things. I have a record of reaching across the aisle and getting them done. Let me just give you a few quick examples, because everybody says they can do things, and I'm serious about this. Other candidates talk about raising teachers' salaries. As mayor, I raised them by 43%. A lot of teachers in this room. They talk about improving public schools. I raised graduation rates by more than 40%. They talk about improving health care. In New York, we cut the number of uninsured by 40% and improved care for mothers and babies and raised life expectancy by 3 whole years. In fact, if you have some people that you really love and you want them to stay around for a while, send them to New York, and I guarantee not any one, but the whole group on average, if it's a big enough group, will live 3 years more. Others talk about fighting climate change. I cut New York City's carbon footprint by 13%, and I've helped create a grassroots movement to close more than 300 dirty, polluting coal-fired power plants across this country. Green jobs and a greener planet, we can get it done, and we are not going to forget about people who are losing their jobs because of changes in technology, like the coal miners who've been working very hard, and we're going to come as a country and make sure we retrain and help those who need help. Others talk about stopping gun violence. In New York City, we cut murders by 50%, and I've taken on the NRA by creating a group a safety group with 6 million members. And we passed stronger gun laws in more than 20 states thanks to Moms Demand Action, volunteers who have made it happen. Now, my fellow Democrats, let me be clear. In this race, everybody is a good person, and my people that I'm running against are good people. And if one of them wins the nomination, God forbid, I will support him or her. Seriously, because this election is too important for our party to have the kind of divisions we saw back in 2016. But I offer a different choice, I think, and a different type of leadership. I didn't spend my whole career in politics, and I don't just make speeches. I build teams, I nurture good ideas, and I hold myself accountable for results. Like I said, I think I am the un-Trump. That's how I've run my business. That's how I ran New York City. You know, if I was elected to being the mayor of New York City just 7 weeks after the devastating attack on 9/11, our city was in tatters and our economy was in recession. But I did bring people together, and we created nearly 500,000 jobs in New York City and 175,000 units of affordable housing. We reduced street homelessness by 28%. We launched new programs to fight poverty, and we rebuilt our city stronger than ever. And there are a lot of cities in this country that we can do the same thing to. Over the past 2 decades, I've taken on the toughest fights and won. And I've taken on Donald Trump and won many times. On gun safety, coal pollution, flipping the House blue in the 2018 elections, and I'm ready to do it again. But I can't do it alone. I need your help, your support, and your vote. And the same thing for those of you who are in our overflow room and those of you outside. I apologize we didn't have enough room for you, but you are as much our secret weapon as everybody in this room. We're going to do this together. In fact, I hope you'll vote early. But the work doesn't stop there. We also need supporters to knock on doors and make phone calls. And where better to find volunteers than in Tennessee? So if you want quality health insurance for everyone, if you want to combat inequality with fairer taxes and better jobs, if you support my commitment to quality public education for everyone, no matter what your zip code is, if you share my belief in opportunity for all and not just for a few, and if you are ready to protect and defend the Constitution of the United States of America, and if you are ready to clean out the Oval Office and get things done, then welcome to Bloomberg 2020. Thank you all so much.